The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship with Foyle Legal. For advice tailored to your situation, please consult a qualified legal professional. Welcome to Personal Injury Claims Explained by Foyle Legal, your trusted source for understanding personal injury claims in Western Australia. Each week, we simplify complex legal issues, from motor vehicle accidents to workplace injuries, so you can confidently navigate your rights and claim the compensation you deserve.
Okay, so imagine this, you're just walking down the street, totally in your own world, and bam, you totally eat it. Out of nowhere, you're flat on your back because some evil banana peel decided to take you down.
Hopefully not a banana peel. But yeah, I get what you mean. Those slip and falls, they just kind of sneak up on you. And sometimes it's more than just like a little stumble.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. How to handle those situations when a slip and fall turns into a whole thing.
Right, because let's be honest, legal stuff can feel super overwhelming. Actually understanding how slip and fall claims work, that can be a game changer if you ever need it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like having this whole legal toolkit, you know. You hope you never have to use it, but if things go south, at least you're prepared. And to build our toolkit today, we're looking at this article. It's from Foyle Legal. They're an Australian law firm. And the article is called, Get This, Maximizing Your Compensation. Factors that influence slip and fall claim worth.
Catchy title, right. But that's the thing. They wrote this for people who might hire them. So they're basically telling us exactly how to build a strong case. Kind of like they're letting us in on their secrets.
No joke. So where do they even start? I mean, you slip, you fall, something's got to be hurt.
Exactly. They start with the injuries themselves. Makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I immediately think, okay, medical bills are about to get real.
For sure. Medical bills are a big part of it. But here's what's interesting. The article actually highlights all this other stuff that most people don't even consider. It's not just the immediate cost. It's the long-term impact. They even have a fancy legal term for it. Non-economic damages.
Okay, non-economic damages. Sounds kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
Break it down for me. What does that even mean?
So picture this. You're walking through the mall, totally unsuspecting, and you trip on a broken tile. It's not just about the doctor visits and the x-rays, right? What if that fall makes you afraid to walk on uneven surfaces? All of a sudden, something you used to love, like taking walks in the park, now that's a source of anxiety.
Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Right. But that's exactly what they're talking about. The emotional toll, the impact on your overall well-being, your enjoyment of life. That's all part of the non-economic damages.
So it's not just a physical thing. It's about how that physical injury impacts your whole life.
Exactly. And that's why the article is so big on documenting everything. Keep a journal. Write down every single way this fall has impacted you, big or small. Take photos. Keep track of everything.
So if I can't take my dog on walks anymore because of a sprained ankle, I write that down. If I'm tossing and turning all night because of the pain,
yeah,
journal time.
Yes. Even stuff like, I used to love to cook these elaborate meals, but now I can barely stand in the kitchen for 10 minutes. All of that paints a more complete picture of how this one event has basically flipped your life upside down.
Like building a whole case file. It's like a detective show, gathering all the clues.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the article is really big on this whole idea of proving negligence.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Why is it so important in slip and fall cases?
So to actually win a slip and fall case, you usually have to prove that the property owner was negligent, meaning they didn't take reasonable steps to prevent the accident from happening.
So it's not enough to just be like, hey, I fell on your property, pay up.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have to show that they were somehow at fault.
Exactly. And that's where things can get tricky, which is why the article goes on to talk about how important it is to understand the whole context of the slip and fall. Because sometimes you might not actually have to prove negligence.
Wait, seriously? You're saying I could totally be picking myself up off the floor,
yeah,
and I wouldn't have to play detective to get compensation?
Yeah, in certain situations. And the article actually uses a really interesting example, workplace accidents.
Okay, so let's say I'm at work, rushing to a meeting, and I spill my coffee everywhere naturally and totally eat it. Are you telling me I wouldn't have to prove that my boss forgot to put out a wet floor sign?
Well, in Australia, you actually Might not have to. They've got this thing called a no-fault system for workers' compensation.
No fault, so it doesn't even matter if it was totally my fault that I spilled coffee all over the place.
Well, there are always going to be some gray areas, but the article explains that this no-fault system means you wouldn't necessarily have to prove your boss was negligent to receive compensation. It's designed to make things a little easier for employees if they get injured on the job.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. It's not like most people want to sue their boss, But, okay, let's say we are talking about a situation where negligence does matter. What kind of evidence are we talking about here? This is where I'd need to channel my inner Sherlock Holmes, right?
A little detective work is always a good skill to have. And the article actually goes through the types of evidence that can make or break a claim. First and foremost, you got to have those medical records, right? Those are going to be essential for proving just how bad your injuries actually were.
Makes sense. Like, a doctor's note goes a long way. But then how do you go from I'm injured to proving it was the property owner's fault in the first place?
That's where the detective work comes in. Photos, my friend. Photos of the scene of the crime or, well, slip and fall in this case. Especially if you can get a shot that shows exactly what caused you to fall. Like, say there was a spill, but no wet floor sign anywhere in sight. Snap a picture, or if the lighting was super dim and that's what caused you to miss a step, yeah, get a photo of that too. It's all about painting a picture showing the full context of what happened.
Photos. But what about witnesses? If there were other people around, could they help my case?
Ah, you're thinking like a lawyer. Eyewitness accounts can be so helpful in these situations. Did someone else see you take a tumble? Did they happen to notice the hazard that caused you to fall in the first place? Those eyewitness statements can really make your case stronger.
So basically, be observant, write everything down, and remember that even little details that don't seem important at the time could end up being important. Like, what if there was a wet floor sign, but it was hidden behind, like, a giant plant or something? Boom, evidence.
Exactly. You got it. Which actually brings us to the last piece of advice that the article offers, and it's a big one. Are you ready for this?
Okay, you got me. Lay it on me was the big advice. Don't leave me hanging.
All right.
No more secrets. The article's basically like, get yourself a lawyer.
Yeah, there it is. That little word, lawyer, that just makes my bank account hurt a little. So, seriously, is it really worth it? What could a lawyer do that I couldn't just, figure out myself? I've got my notes, I've got my photos, I'm feeling like a pretty good detective over here. Well, think of it this way, a good lawyer. They're like fluent in legalese, all that legal jargon that makes my head spin. They actually understand it. And the paperwork, oh my goodness, the paperwork.
Don't even get me started on the paperwork. It's like they invented a whole new language just to confuse us. But even beyond all that, what about the insurance companies? That's who I always picture on the other side of all this. Mm-hmm. And those adjusters, they didn't get there by being easily swayed.
Oh, you are not wrong. Insurance companies, they're businesses, right? And their whole goal is to minimize what they have to pay out. So yeah, having a lawyer there with you, it really does level the playing field. They know how insurance companies operate. They know all the tricks. And most importantly, they know how to negotiate.
So it's like having someone in your corner who can fight for you while you focus on actually, getting better.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, right? And having a good lawyer on your side, that's like a superpower when it comes to all of this. It means you're not alone. You've got someone who's got your back. And you're giving yourself the best possible shot at actually getting fair compensation.
I like it. It's like that saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. But sometimes those banana peels just jump out at you. And if that happens, it's good to know what to do.
Totally.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. We hope you've learned a thing or two about how to navigate those, shall we say, slippery situations life throws our way. Until next time, stay safe out there.
Thank you for listening to Personal Injury Claims Explained by Foyle Legal. We hope this episode helped clarify your rights and next steps in your injury claim. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and visit foylelegal.com for more useful information. See you next time.